Welcome friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Myself Professor Parag Savsani from Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. Today in this video session we are discussing about the construction management. How can we adopt the construction management in our practices? Generally, during the construction process we are involving many steps and we are adopting procedures to completing these steps. But the sequence of this step and managing this step are concluded to our final project. Now, word project is generally used in terms of construction management. Generally, project is defined as the specific finite activity that produce an observable and measurable result under a certain preset requirement. Now, generally, in the product in case, a construction project is constructed facility such as a building, a bridge, highway, a dam, a canal, a factory. Now, as per ISO 10006 defines project as a unique process consisting of a set of coordinated and controlled activities with start and finish dates undertaken to achieve an objective conforming to specific requirement including the constraint of time, resources, cost and project quality. Construction project involve varying manpower and their duration can range from a few weeks to more than 5 years. Each construction project is unique and temporary in nature. Construction projects involve varying manpower and their duration can range from a few weeks or to more than 5 years. Each construction project is unique and temporary in nature. And so is the management involved. Here the term unique means every project is different in some way from other projects. And term temporary means that every project has definite beginning and an end. Construction projects involves a series of complex or irrelative activities and tasks that consume resources to achieve some specific objectives. It is to be completed within a set of specifications under a limited budget. A project may involve a single unit of one organization or may extend across the organization boundaries as in case of joint ventures and partnering. Each project has a specified mission or purpose to be achieved. It says after the mission is achieved, a construction project mission is to be create a desired facility like a housing complex, a fertilizer plant, a dam or a bridge. It is not a routine activity like a regular maintenance of building or road. Management of construction project missions entail multi-directional interaction of dynamic forces represented by its time, resources and cost. Despite diverse and multifarious activities, each project is an entity itself. Project also a great opportunity for organizations and individuals to achieve their business and non-business objectives more efficiently through implementing change. A project is a temporary, unique and progressive attempt or endeavor made to produce some kind of tangible or intangible results. It usually includes a series of interrelated tasks that are planned for execution over a fixed period of time and within certain requirement and limitation, such as cost, quality, performance, and others. Now, we are moving to the phases of construction project. There have been 5 phases of construction project: briefing stage, designing stage, tendering stage, construction stage, and commissioning stage. Now, that are the different stages or stages involved in any construction project. First, we are discussing about the briefing stage. This stage is also called a report stage. It is the stage where ideas organized by individual are studied with regard to cost and benefit so as to establish the economic viability or the social utility of project. Now, what are the purpose of briefing stage? The purpose of briefing stage is to enable the client or owner to specify the project function and permissible cost so that the engineer, architects and other member of a construction team can correctly interpret the owner's wishes and provide a likely estimate of cost. It also leads to an objective on a scope of feasibility of project. A feasibility report is prepared during this stage. Now, there are so many different types of activities are involved during the briefing stage. To appoint the project steering committee, these are the stages activities during the briefing stage. To appoint the project manager who will have to continuing responsibility to the client throughout the construction process. Carry out the technical and non-technical investigation so that the alternative proposal may be given due to consideration. The technical investigation include land and geological surveys, site investigations such as soil samples and groundwater levels from the boreholes. And other investigations are non-technical investigations. That includes the economical and social factors which may define the basic requirement of the project. This also include the market survey for resource identification to study the various alternatives and identify the most feasible one. To prepare the project report, which is the outcome of the first stage, the project report describes the investigation carried out, possible solutions, and their evaluation. Now, the project briefing stage also include the feasibility report. A feasibility report is prepared to present and depth of techno-economic analysis carried out on the project. It contains a result of technical as well as economic evaluation of project. So the owner can take a investment decision and the project can be properly planned and implemented. The feasibility report is prepared during the briefing stage or report stage of a project. The viability of any project mainly depends on the some following analysis. So that type of analysis has been carried out during the feasibility report. Now, first analysis is the technical analysis. After that, we can make economic analysis, and we can also doing the financial analysis and ecological analysis. In the technical part of the feasibility study, identifies the alternative methods of course of action and the selection of best available technology. Generally, it includes the selection of a suitable site, selection of appropriate construction methods, availability of various resources or raw material, specifications of raw material, selection of construction equipments, economic analysis, checks and economic viability of project. Sometimes a project is technically feasible but economically unviable. Why various methods of economical feasibility assessments are payback period method, return investment method, and the benefit cost ratio method. Now we are moving to the financial analysis. The financial analysis of a feasibility study includes estimation of capital cost requirement, sources of financing. Now, what is the capital cost of project? All the costs incurred during the completion of project will be termed as capital cost. It includes engineering fee, supervision during construction, construction equipment, enabling work, working cost, contingencies, and operating cost. Now, another factor is the sources of financing. The sources of financing may be divided into the two groups: internal sources and external sources. For small projects, internal sources are used, while for large projects, external sources are used. Next thing is ecological analysis. Now, ecological analysis as a generally, environmental impact assessment is a particularly necessary for major projects which have significant ecological implications like power plants, major irrigation projects, chemical industries, drug industries, leather processing industries. Now, generally, that types of analysis are important during for that different types of industries. Now we are moving to the second stage. That stage is called designing stage or planning stage. It is a very important stage in a field of construction because any modification in project after this stage would prove expensive, or a realistic and debited cost estimate of the project can be prepared during the design stage. The purpose of this stage is to complete the project summary and determine the method of construction and estimated cost so as to obtain the necessary approval from the client. Its purpose also includes the preparation of working drawing, specification, arrangement for inviting tenders. Generally, it should consist the activities for developing the project summary, for financial adoption of the most suitable alternatives, to carry out the technical investigation such as soil investigation, topographic investigation, material survey, and market survey. To prepare a detailed design, working drawing, specification, bill of quantities, final cost estimate, and preliminary construction program. To obtain the owner's final approval for project summary. That are the different activities during the designing stage. Now, what is the task related to task designing? Now, arranging the documents of construction contract, qualifying of design professional, performing technical and financial analysis, selecting the design team, negotiating with the qualified design professional, monitoring the design progress, evaluating the design and making the necessary decisions, updating design documents, reviewing design documents, conducting design peer review, monitoring design quality. Now, next we are moving to the tendering stage. During this stage, the tenders are invited and the contract is awarded at the best available terms agreed mutually between the owner's team and the contractors. The purpose of the tendering stage is to appoint a contractor or a member of contractors who will undertake the construction work on the most suitable terms and condition of quality, cost, and completion time. It should include the following activities like to invite the tenders from the contractors for the construction work and to award the contract. Pre-qualification of contractor involves an investigation of the potential of contractors' financial, managerial and physical resources, contractors' experience of handling similar projects. To prepare a contract document to be signed by the client and the contractor, the contract document should be prepared with extreme care by experienced person because contract forms on the basis on which the project management team exercises control of project during the construction phase. The contract is defined as a legal document which describes the terms and conditions of executing of project. The contract is defined as a legal document which describes the terms and conditions of executing the project. holding a pre-bid conference and providing the necessary information, negotiating contract price with qualified contractor, reviewing documents submitted by contractor like work schedules, manpower, qualifications, equipment, etc. Clarifying ambiguities in the contract documents. Now we are moving to the construction stage. The construction stage involves the execution of construction work as per the design drawing and within agreed limits of time, cost and specified quality. Generally, the construction stage involves the following activities. The construction planning includes the preparation of construction schedule, manpower schedule, material delivery schedule, plant and equipment schedule. To control the site operations include supply of material and equipment, supervision for quality control, coordination among subcontractors, supervision of quality control, supply of necessary drawing. The construction stage is the most resource intensive and difficult stage of any project. The problems encountered during this stage may have to be referred to the designer's appropriate solution. Next is the commissioning stage. It is the stage in which the performance of structure is evaluated and the proposed nature of maintenance and repair are considered. The purpose of stage is to ensure that the construction work has been carried out as per the drawing and specification and the facilities developed function properly and investigate in the design. During this stage, records are prepared from the actual construction work finally carried out at site. To keep various records of actual work, to inspect the construction of work thoroughly and have any defects rectified to prepare operating instructions and maintenance manual. To carry out the test for the performance such as water tightness and the strength. After that, we can use these types of structure after the commissioning stage. Now we are moving to need or necessity of construction management. Coordination between the different agencies. Second point is the economy in construction, development of management and machinery, speed of construction, quality control of material and workmanship. Now, effective construction management is required to coordinate between the various agencies engaged during the construction and organize the input in an efficient way to maximize the output at the minimum cost. The construction management also works at the best alternative to get best result at a minimum cost. The construction management aims to coordinate and organize sufficient and efficient manpower and the machinery. New tools of management such as bar chart, critical path method, and the program evaluation and review techniques are also available for planning and monitoring of construction activity. For timely completion of project, the construction project is essential as it gives the best alternative to complete the project in optimum time and the cost using the modern management techniques. The quality control of material and workmanship is also one of the objectives of the construction management. Now we are moving to the objective of construction management. Our main objective of construction management is estimated budget. After that, that project should be completion within the specified time limit. Also, we have to achieve the quality and the speed of construction and sound of decision. Now, the different parameters are affect the different situations of the construction management. So, motivating the people to give their best with their capabilities are also the objective of construction management. We are generally doing their types of project or by creating the organization that work as a team. So we have to also execute their work as per the specification. So we have to adopt the construction management. Now we are moving to the different types of phases of construction management. Now there have been seven phases or the function of construction management: planning and scheduling, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, auditing, and communicating. Planning involves the formulation of number of alternative realistic work plans for achieving the specified objective. And finally, selecting a plan which is best suited from the standpoint of available resources and the constraint imposed upon the project. Planning is a administrative process which translates the policy into the method of achieve the objective it lays down. Our project will be carried out, what materials will be used, what equipment machineries will be utilized, what men and staff will be employed. So the planning is essentially covers the aspect of what to do and how to do. Now scheduling is the fitting of final work plan to the time scale. It shows the duration and the order of various construction activities. It deals with the aspect of when to do. Generally, the project plan comprise time plan, resource plan, plan for controlling project, and generally it includes the schedule of design, work quantities, progress of work plan, resource allocation, budget cost, and cash flow estimates. Now, second task is that organizing. Organizing is a concern with division of total construction work into the manageable sections and systematically arranging various operations by delegating specific tasks to individual. The project is depicted by a simple flow chart. The organization structure should be kept as a simple and balanced possible. A man should have only one boss immediately above him on whom he knows. Any significant member of our organization should have up to 5 and never more than 7 subordinates. So we can arranging the manpower properly and completing the task effectively. Now third function is the staffing. The organizing involves the division of project into the sections, and staffing is the provision of people to fulfill the position so created. The staffing functions are recruiting the right people, arranging the staff training course, carry out the proper staff assessment. Now, the directing is the fourth function of construction management. A directing function in concern with the training of subordinate to carry out the assigned task, supervising their work, and guiding their efforts. The essence of directing lies in ability to motivate the peoples individually and as groups to utilize their creative efforts in achieving specific objectives. Now, another function of phases of construction management is controlling. Controlling is necessary to ensure effective and efficient working. It involves a construction review of the work plan to check on actual achievement and discover and rectify deviation through appropriate corrective measures. The essential steps in management controls are the measurement of actual performance in terms of progress quality and the cost incurred, the comparison of actual and planned performance, analysis of shortfall in performance when it occurs, and identification and implementation of suitable remedial measures. Quick, accurate flow of information is a vital aspect of controlling function. Now, another function of the phases of construction management is the coordinating. It is the process where the framework of structure of organizations is made to operate smoothly with the flow of information, decisions, and result in every direction. In a large organization, and in a large complicated project, it is necessary to bring together and coordinate the work of various departments and sections. That requires an efficient system of communication so that each department and section is aware of its role and the assistance to be expected from others. Regular meetings of department and section heads with top management are fundamental to proper coordination so that the plans, problems, and remedies are discussed for determining the best solution. Now we are moving to the stakeholders of construction project. The construction team is formed to cooperatively plan, design, and execute a particular project. The objective of the team is to execute the owner's project in the best and most economical manner within the stipulated completion of time. Generally, the owner, engineer, and the contractor are the stakeholder of a construction project. The owner in a building or engineering project may be an individual. A group of individuals, private or public undertaking, the owner has the ultimate authority over the project. The owner is the final holder of major decision making power regarding to managerial, financial and administrative aspects. He approves changes, if any, in the project scope or schedules. The owner controls the project resources such as manpower, funds and property. Generally, it should some responsibilities of the owner is that the owner is supposed to provide the necessary land or site on which the proposed work is to be constructed. The owner should appoint an engineer to look after the technical requirements of the work. The owner should supply necessary plan and working drawings through his architect to the contractor in time so that the work is not unnecessarily delayed. The owner should respect the conditions of contract concerning these powers and duties. The owner should provide necessary work front to the contractor so that work is not delayed. The owner should make necessary arrangement for the funds requirements for construction of work so that the regular payments shall be made to the contractor. It is desirable that the owner should pass all the instructions to the contractor through his engineer. The owner should make arrangement to record the measurement of items in time before they cover up in the subsequent execution work. The supply of material and issue machinery, if it is a part of contract, it should also proven that owner have responsible for that. The owner should not interface with the progress of work and should not pass such instruction which will lead to the problems of extra item, liquidated damage, etc. So the owner not suspend the work temporarily unless it appears to be in the interest to do so. To take over possessions of completed work timely from contractor. Now, the second stakeholder of our project is engineer. It includes the structural, mechanical, and electrical engineer, architect, quality surveyor, specialists such as structural consultants, safety and maintenance planner, and soil investigator. Now, there are also some responsibilities of engineer to organize and supervise the execution of work and see that they are suitably and economically carried out with specified quality of material. It is the duty of executive engineer to prepare estimate of proposed work through his subordinate and submit the same to his superintending engineer. The engineer is responsible for explaining the plans and provisions of the specifications. The engineer is also responsible for giving all lines and levels required in connecting with the work. It should see The workmanship comply with the provision in the technical specification of the work. It is his duty to invite the tenders for work valued within his power after obtaining administrative and technical sanction. In certain complicated items, the engineer should give the sequence of operation, should explain method of construction in details to the contractor. It is the duty of the engineer to prepare specification for the work and see that the specifications are accurate, proper and reasonable for the work. Assistant engineer is responsible for taking a detailed measurement works during the progress and enter the same in MB and prepare the bill of payment. It should see that machinery likely to be used in work are properly maintained and safely housed. To keep tool and plant in working condition and arrange to protect the surplus stock from the deterioration. It is also duty to prevent the encroachment on government lands under his division. The engineer is responsible for the acts of his assistant or other agencies employed by him. It is also the duty of engineer to assist the court law or the arbitrator during the hearing of dispute. Now the third stakeholder is contractor. The contractor may be an individual undertaking small contracts or a large construction company undertaking turnkey projects. Contractor, whether small or big, need the service of qualified engineer. Some of the engineer employed by the contractor deal with the office work such as designing, tendering, scheduling in the head office. Others, known as site engineers, are concerned with the actual execution of work such as surveying, leveling, construction, and billing. Now, it should also have some of the responsibilities of contractor is that the contractor is responsible to provide all the materials, labors, equipment required under the provisions of contract for the execution of work. The contractor should carry out the work as per plan, specification and as per directions given by the engineer. The contractor should inform the supervising engineer before taking up any new item and before covering up any work. The contractor should appoint a qualified person on site of the work to whom instruction and direction can be imparted. The contractor is responsible to respect all the prevailing labor laws and should make regular payments to his laborer as well as the subcontractors. The contractor is responsible for any damage to the persons or adjoining property during the execution of project. The contractor should submit the bill of work as when required. The contractor is responsible for arranging for the permit of the control material and for paying fees and royalties for the use of patented articles or processes. The contractor is responsible for the safety of all the laborers and the personnel working at the sites and should provide safety shoes, helmets to the workmen. To ensure the completed work in the sound condition, the contractor should submit his claim for extra item in due time. Now the another topic is to how to interact between the owner engineer and the contractor. For successful completion of project, there must be an interrelationship between the three main components of construction team, like owner, engineer, and contractor. So, the correlation between the owner and engineer are must. As the owner finances the project and employ an engineer who agrees to perform his professional duties with reasonable efforts and skill, if the engineer makes an unfortunate mistake in spite of due skill, he is not liable for his mistake unless the owner proves that he failed to perform his duty carefully. It is the responsibility of the engineer to plan things for the owner economically. Now, the correlation between the engineer and the contractor. There is much correlation between the engineer and contractor as the latter executes the work in strict supervision of the former. The contractor has to work as per the design and drawing in consultation with the engineer to avoid any dispute. Now, one another reasons, some of the reasons due to miscommunication between the three parties or the stakeholders are the unexpected side condition like that should causes the delay in the construction project. Next is the difficulties in the availability of material, difficulties in availability of labor, weather condition, delay in issue of construction drawing, lack of liaison between the contractor and engineer, delay in clarifying bills, cash flow, and financial constraint, dispute between the contractor and the owner engineers. I hope you are enjoying this session. Thank you.